G'day there, podcaster. Ben here, giving you heads up on what's coming up in this episode of the podcast. We got some brutal breakup stories. Then we stayed in the brutal theme and we did brutal revenge. They were outstanding. But then, to top it all off, you know it, you love it, obscure celebrity connections. We brought it back and it was probably the best for me in recent memory.
Live across Australia. This is Ben, Liam and Belle's
Late Drive on Nova.
13 24 10. Give us a buzz. Did you get dumped in the worst way? The Princess of Dubai, who she just got married last year to her husband, she's divorced him on Instagram. She put a post up and said, "Dear husband, I hereby declare our divorce. I divorce you, I divorce you, I divorce you."
Oh, just in case it wasn't clear the first time.
Yes, well, it's like an Islamic law that if you say it 3 times, usually husbands can say it to their wife and say, "I divorce you,
right.
I divorce you, I divorce you," and that means it's legit.
It's like saying Bloody Mary in the mirror.
Pretty much,
Yeah.
yeah. So she's done it on Instagram.
My high school girlfriend of 3 years dumped me via Skype, and she was using Macca's Wi-Fi at the time.
That's right. She was at Macca's.
Yeah. You could hear the like all the nuggets getting made in the back. I was like, why is this happening?
Is that Ronald McDonald over there?
Why is that guy dressed as Grimace?
13 24 10. Did you get dumped in the worst way? Jimmy in Geelong, you dumped someone.
Yeah, at Oktoberfest in Munich.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, so you'd gone over together?
Yeah, gone to Europe for a few weeks.
And how long have you been together before the Europe trip?
Oh, about 7 years.
Yeah, that's a fair amount of time, Jimmy. And so I'd imagine you still had a bit of your holiday over there as well, right?
Oh, only like a day or two afterwards. So
right.
It could have been worse, I guess.
But why did you do the dumping then and there when you're on a Euro holiday?
A few too many steins might have had something to do with it. No, it wasn't good for a long time, and I just kind of didn't have the guts to do it when I was sober.
Yeah, right. And all the Fraulines getting about there didn't have anything to do with it, did it?
No, nothing at all, no.
Jimmy, did you?
Okay.
My last question: did you have to sit next to them on the plane ride home?
Oh, yeah.
That's shocking.
I just gotta go to the bathroom. Can you scoot over?
Please.
Jimmy, thank you very much. Hey, 13 24 10. This is how we're starting the show tonight. Brutal breakups.
Chloe in Melbourne. Brutal breakups. What happened?
So my boyfriend of 3 years at the time, or my ex-boyfriend, broke up with me by handing me a letter that his mum had written for him. He then handed that letter to me, and I was very shook and confused because I wasn't expecting it. 1 week later, he then had a new girlfriend, and they seemed very in love.
Wow.
I mean, you give someone a note if you're like, want to get out of PE. You know what I mean? Not your girlfriend.
Was the note, when you said it was written by his mum, was it written as his mum, signed off by his mum, or could you just tell by the handwriting?
It was printed out, and I could tell by the grammar because he couldn't speak a big word.
Oh, so
Yeah,
I thought
right.
it was like her saying, like, on behalf of my
No,
son.
no,
like,
it's like he just like outsourced. Yeah,
oh,
right.
You know what, Chloe? You don't want to be with a guy that has to have his mum do
And
everything
these
for him
days,
anyway.
just ChatGPT would do it. You know what I mean? You don't even need to worry about
Just
getting
do
mum
it
involved.
yourself.
Chloe, thank you so much for sharing. Anon in Adelaide, good evening. Please tell us about your brutal breakup.
Yeah, wife just up and left out of nowhere. Couldn't see it coming initially, but when I thought about it afterwards, yeah, I went out driving, pick up a mate one night, and came home and she was gone.
Oh.
That's brutal. I mean, are we talking like all the stuff was gone? Like she quickly sort of packed everything up, or she just sort of got out of there?
Well, the crazy thing was, it's like she literally just took off with her basics and literally left everything else there. I got no closure at all.
Oh,
Wow.
That's really sad.
How long ago was that?
Probably about 3 years now.
Oh, none. And so you've seen each other since, I'd imagine.
No.
Never.
Whoa. And
Can I ask, you said married, right?
Yeah, we were married, yeah.
So if you then have never seen them again, are you divorced? Because how do you get divorced if you haven't ever seen them again?
Funny thing is, we're separated legally, but she hasn't filed for divorce.
Whoa.
I don't want to file for divorce because of my beliefs.
Yeah. That's a curly one and all.
Yeah.
I
That's...
hope you're okay. Thanks for calling up, and that is you.
That's
Like
a-
you said, you have no closure, and it sounds like you're in a tough spot. But thank you for sharing.
That's
Yeah.
a brutal breakup right there. And that's what we're doing. Bella in Brizzy, tell us about yours.
Hi. So when I was 20, I was going through a cancer scare, actually. They had found a couple tumors, and I was getting all the testing and stuff done, and it was a pretty tough time. I was obviously very scared. I had biopsies. I was preparing for radiation therapy. And when I got the results all back, and it turned out I was totally fine, I called my boyfriend of 2 years, and I said, "Oh my God, I'm coming back," because I was abroad. I was visiting my parents who lived in Hong Kong, and I said, "Look, I'm coming back. I'm all good." And he goes, "Oh well, that's good, but you've actually just been really miserable the past couple of months, so yeah, I don't really want to be with you anymore."
Oh.
I said, "I thought I had cancer."
Yeah, there's a bit of a cancer scare in there, buddy.
Yeah, I mean, I would assume you'd be a little miserable if you thought, you're dealing with that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, Bella.
I mean, obviously you're better off. Like, you don't want to be with that person in the long run.
Oh,
but,
no, not at all.
But
And I never
still.
saw him again.
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad you're okay. Sounds like he was one of the tumours, to be honest. Glad you got.
Yeah. Hey, look, Bella, to say thanks for getting involved, we're going to give you a Centre Fitness Pack. Thanks for sharing your story.
Oh, thank you very much.
Tyler, you were the dumper. What happened?
G'day, how's it going?
Good.
Yeah, look, I was the dumper on this occasion. Pretty fresh into relationships. I think this is my first relationship actually, and I try to avoid conflict where possible, and so what I did, I changed my relationship status to single.
Whoa.
Look, I was 16 at the time. I changed my relationship status to single. The worst part is that her cousin, who was sitting next to her at the time, saw this, and she said, "Oh, I didn't realize you guys broke up." And she said, "Oh, we haven't broken up." And then I got the very distressed call from her. It wasn't good. It wasn't
Tyler,
good.
do you regret doing it that way?
Oh, yeah, I still feel awful, and I can hear exactly how she sounded when she called me. It's I feel terrible. But like I said, I was very young. I was 16, and it was. I've learned since.
Yeah, you sound like you've learned from it.
You do, yeah. And that's, I don't know what you were thinking, like, if you just changed it, should just never talk to you again.
Should go away.
Yeah, as you said, you don't like conflict, but you obviously made it worse for yourself. Tristan in Brizzy, this is your neighbour, brutal breakups.
Yeah. So basically what happened is that he...
Yeah, Tristan?
Sorry, yeah, cut out there.
No, you're
basically
good.
what happened, the neighbour knocked on our door one day, and then he said, "Oh, have you seen my wife?" And we're like, "We haven't." Me and my roommate said we haven't seen him. And we were like, "What happened?" She just left a note and took the baby in a car and just left. And rough.
Oh, do you know if he found her? Do you know what happened?
No, we moved out like 2 months later, so we know. Yeah, we checked up on him a couple of days later, and no news from her. Yeah.
Like the old, "Have you seen my wife?" knock.
Yeah, what are you supposed to say? Yeah, she's in our bedroom.
Are you playing hide and seek, mate? 'Cause-
Oh, yeah, but he's desperate. He's in a frantic moment.
Oh, man. That's rough. Denise in Melbourne, brutal breakups. Was this you?
Yep. I've had a couple, but the first one was the worst.
Yeah, all right. Give us your best one.
All right, been married for 7 years. Just had a 6-week-old baby, little girl.
Yeah.
And my then husband nicked off with my best friend.
Oh. And you had no idea, you didn't see this coming, obviously.
No, I probably should have, but no, not at all.
Ever see them again or just off into the ether?
Yeah, he's the father of my 2 kids, yeah.
Oh, okay. So, you got...
Not very much anymore because they're older now, but yeah.
Are they still together?
Yes, they are, and she already had 2 kids, and they've had twins together.
Wicked.
Wow.
Yeah, nice
Wicked.
one. Denise.
Sorry, Denise.
Denise, no, you seem lighthearted about it. We appreciate you sharing. We are honestly getting so many calls for brutal breakups, and it's hard not to keep this going. So
Yeah.
13 24 10.
Isla in Brisbane, good evening. Were you dumped in the worst way?
No, but my dad was.
Oh, okay.
So my parents, they were refugees escaping Bosnia, and they were both pretty young, like in their early 20s. My mum was only 18. And my dad was escaping Bosnia with my mum and her brother. So he'd left his family behind and, was just with her, and they were dating at the time. And they managed to get to Croatia. And in amongst trying to find somewhere to stay, my mum kind of just got a bit fed up with my dad. And I think they had some sort of petty argument. And my mum just decided that she wanted nothing to do with my dad while they were, like, in Croatia, nowhere to go, no home, no money, refugees. So my mum said goodbye to my dad, and they went their separate ways. And then a couple of weeks later, my mum went to Stuttgart in Germany, where her uncle lived.
Yeah.
And my dad was in Munich, also in Germany.
Yeah.
And my dad was trying to connect with some relatives there, but no one was really keen to take him in because I think the sentiment in the country at the time was quite prejudiced.
Yeah.
And so my dad frantically called my mum's uncle, where my mum was staying, and he begged my mum's uncle to take him in. And thankfully, my mum's uncle really, really liked him. And so he agreed that he could come over, but my mum had no idea. In her mind, my dad was out of her life. They were broken up. So, a couple of weeks later, my dad shows up to my uncle's house, or my great uncle's house, and my mum essentially has no choice but to get back together with him. And that was, I think, in like 1992 or something.
And they've been together
the
ever
rest is
since.
history.
Wow.
Awesome.
Oh, my
Sounds like a
gosh.
very loveless marriage. Sounds like many unhappy years.
Also like a book or a movie or
Yeah.
something.
Also, I mean, that was well told, Ayla. It did go for a little while, but basically the crux of it was they were together in one country, broke up, and then they got back together in a separate country.
Yeah, he
Yep.
pulled a fast one. Got it back in Stuttgart. I think it was Stuttgart. I don't know. There was a
think
lot
it
of
was.
European countries being mentioned. Katrina in Brizzy, tell us, brutal breakups. What happened?
Well, not so brutal for me, but after 27 years of marriage, I got a text from a 25-year-old for my 45-year-old husband had been having an affair for a year.
Whoa.
So this is the best part. So revenge is best served vicious. So before he got home, I threw all his Viagra down the toilet and then proceeded to clean the toilet with his toothbrush,
Yeah, right.
which
There
he
you go.
continued to use for I don't know how long, but I wasn't kissing him.
Yeah.
Not my problem.
Well, who wants to go with a floppy dick and poo breath? Am I right?
That's it. No. That's it. And yes, best revenge ever. Girls, just go and clean the toilet with his toothbrush.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, Katrina, we appreciate you sharing your story, and we'll give you tickets to go see Troye Sivan.
Oh, awesome. Thank you so much.
No worries at all.
Troye Sivan's Something to Give Each Other 2024 Australian Tour. He's playing arenas all across the country. It's happening this November. So if you want tickets and info, go to livenation.com.au. But Katrina, they're all yours.
Look, I think we'll move on, but 13, 24, 10. I mean, if you got some brutal revenge on the cheater like Katrina there, then we'd love to hear from you.
We have actually got some more Troye Sivan tickets to give away. So, brutal revenge, how did you get it? And would we accept getting away from breakups as well?
Oh,
So it
yeah,
could be
just-
like someone at work
Yeah.
who wronged you, someone at the
Ooh,
shops who
yeah.
wronged
Yeah,
you.
just anything. Paddy in Brisbane, tell us about the revenge.
Hello, Patty.
I've got a good one for you.
All right.
So my ex ruined my life, and so but don't worry, I came off better in the end. I found a website where you can pay like €2 to send an anonymous text off like another Australian phone number.
Mm.
So I looked. He taught gym classes, So I looked up his timetables and sent a text just before he had a back-to-back class saying that the classes were cancelled because the gym had been flooded. So yeah, all of his
Bloody got him.
students would have been waiting for him.
Yes, Paddy.
I've also used it like during the floods to like say that his area has to evacuate immediately and like the power's going to be out for like the next 7 days and stuff like that, so that he has to get everything out of the fridge. And
Paddy,
move.
I find it amusing how amusing you find it.
Yeah, you're loving it. You're just like, yeah, I might give him a flood warning tonight. I might say there's a bomb threat or something around here. That'd get him going.
He's in grave danger.
That's a very dangerous website. That
Oh
you
yeah, it
discovered there
sounds
as
super
well.
sus. Like if you like,
Yeah, all your metadata has been stolen.
100%. Like if your money disappeared, and then they like even they looked into it, even if they scratched the surface, they'd be like, well, you've been on the black sort of dark depths of the dark web using like these crazy numbers.
But you know what? Paddy's having a laugh
Yeah.
because all these gym people are waiting for their
Well,
class, so
that's
it's
it.
all good.
Paddy, thank you so much. Chloe in Melbourne, how did you get revenge?
Yeah, I came up with a pretty cunning plan once. My ex dumped me, and after treating like crap all that time, I was still pretty emotional. The next day, I came up with a plan. I knew how to draw the naughty powder in his desk at home, and he was still at home with his mum. So I waited until he got home the next day, stormed in, saw his mum was there, went and grabbed it and be like, "Oh, what is this?" in front of his mum and got him in some trouble.
Right. What did he say it was?
He just said, I don't think he had a plan to cover it up, so I was pretty happy with that.
Yeah,
Petty
I mean, he
origin.
should have gone for the old
Straight up.
anti-inflammatory powder, which some members of the AFL,
Some footy pundits
yeah,
use.
the footy pundits in the NRL and AFL, they love saying that. Oh no, that was just a white substance. We don't know what that was.
Chloe, thank you. These are more enjoyable than I thought they
Yeah,
would be.
good.
Reese in Barizzi, this was your mum. How did she get revenge?
So she ended up sleeping with the partner of the relationship that Dad was cheating with.
I get you. So your dad was cheating with another woman.
Yep.
And then
the
she
second
went.
relationship broke up.
Yep.
And then she went for the partner for the other family.
Yep. And of course, that's great for mum, not great for you, knowing mum and dad are sort of obviously rooting someone else. But like that, I back her for that. I think she's done the right thing.
Reese, thank you very much. 13 24 10 is our number here at Nova. How did you get revenge?
Laura in Sydney, how'd you get revenge?
Oh, well, you know what? You never make an Italian girl angry. So what happened was you did the wrong thing severely by me and my morals, and we broke up. But I didn't leave too far without putting some prawn head and oysters in the actual curtain rod of his room.
Whoa.
I've heard about, because I thought that was like an urban myth. I've heard that people do
No,
that.
I've done that, and then I also, because I'm diabetic, I have access to syringes. So I put the juice of it down the door trim where the windows are.
Yeah.
Where the window list. I put it down in the door frame of the car as well. So
Oh, man.
You would never get that stank out.
Bit of prawn juice in the windowsill. Oh, Laura.
Oh,
That
wow.
is, I mean, he must have made you real mad.
But you know what? Laura is sleeping so well at night.
She is. She is. Ali in Brisbane, did you get some revenge too?
Hi, I sure did. My ex cheated on me. This was in the UK. And he worked shifts. I knew he was cheating on me, but I couldn't leave because I had a newborn baby. So I knew, he worked shifts. So I used to make him this absolutely amazing stew from really, really cheap, crappy dog food. And he would come home at night and he would have it with potatoes and stuff. I put garlic and herbs in it. And he thought it was amazing.
Wow.
That is amazing revenge.
The future is here. Flying food, Ben and Bell. Drone deliveries have launched in Australia.
This is crazy. We are literally living in a sci-fi movie.
I know it sounds like I'm joking, but look this up. You can actually do it. So if you're in a certain area, you can have a drone go to a restaurant and pick up a burrito and it will come and drop it at your house.
How? And also, I picture it with like a bag of food in the air, and that food's going to be so cold. By the
Well, I
time
don't know how it
gets
does
to
it.
you.
It must do
Then
it.
again, it's quicker than someone on a bike, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's flying through. Like, what if it's raining?
They have one of those little thermal bags.
Yeah, they sort it out. I reckon it's quicker because you don't get stuck in traffic, you know? And that's the thing. So we have drone Uber Eats. So the next logical step, and I think we're going to be here pretty soon, is drone Ubers.
Hey mate, Uber for Liam?
Affirmative.
Cool if I drink in here, mate?
As long as you don't spill anything.
Yeah, I'll be careful. Busy night, mate?
I have completed 8 trips this evening.
Yeah, hey, can you pull over here, man? I want to do a Macca's run.
Okay.
You want anything, mate?
Negative.
Can I take your order, please?
Yeah, do you still do the McRib?
Yeah.
Can I have 3 of them and some nuggets?
Yep.
Thanks, mate.
Soiling fee added.
Just drop us off here, mate.
We are still 300 feet in the air.
It's cool, bro. I'll walk the rest of the way.
Are you sure?
Yeah, mate.
Please give me a 5-star rating.
Our next guest is personal trainer to the stars. One of the most followed fitness celebs in Australia. Now, Chris Hemsworth's very own PT wants to help you look like Thor without leaving the house with the help of his Centre Fitness app. Please welcome Luke Zocchi.
Luke, now we know all about your amazing fitness app Centre, but can you talk us through your newest program, 28 Days of Arms?
28 Days of Arms is a program where you're going to be training arms every single day for 28 days, obviously. But the cool part of it is they're only short little workouts. So they're only quick, punchy, 7-minute workouts to get the most out of it. Just a short, sharp workout.
By the end, what are you expecting your arms to look like?
Your arms will look as good as Chris's by the end of the 28 days. That is a guarantee. Don't read the spine print, but I guarantee your arms will be as good as Chris's in 28 days.
I'm just signing up right now for that one. Nice one. And you mentioned Chris Hemsworth. Now, look, I don't know if you remember this, but this isn't actually the first time we've had you on our show.
I remember this. I did a call and I was at Chris's house and I got him on the phone and that was you guys, wasn't it?
That was us. So this is
I knew it.
This is going back like before COVID. So it's like a lot, we're talking like 4 or 5 years ago. And it was when I was just doing the show with Ben and Belle was actually producing back then.
Yeah.
And we were out sort of doing some street talk with a microphone and we bumped into this sweet old lady who happened to be your nana.
You know Chris Hemsworth?
Yeah. Subtle flex. How do you know Chris Hemsworth?
Because my grandson Luke is his trainer.
And we were like, yeah, right. So then we got your number from her. And then
It's so random.
We called you and you happened to be at Chris Hemsworth's house and we twisted your arm for a bit and then we couldn't believe it, but you put us on the phone with him.
Just say hello to the boys from Novus. Hey, boys, how are you?
It's so good. You can't fake that voice. It's too deep.
God.
It's too deep to fake that voice.
It is very deep. And I think from memory, Chris was like making his kids lunches.
Yeah, I think it was like breakfast time. He's getting his kids ready for school. And I just pulled him out of the kitchen. Like, you got to quickly say hello to the guys from Nova. He was just like, oh, okay.
Was he okay with that? Do you do that a lot?
No, not often. No.
Yeah, I was going to say, it felt like we got you in a good moment because, like, obviously you're, a very known personal trainer and you're like famous for also training Chris Hemsworth. I feel like people would hit you up, right? Like people like maybe you went to school with back in the day, like, hey man, like my kid loves Thor, like loves the Marvel movies. Do you reckon you could like get Chris to come to his 8th birthday or something? Do you get a lot of requests like that?
Yeah, look, there is a fair few. Chris is pretty understanding. He's a pretty good guy. Like, he's done so many random things for me, like what you guys just seen before, obviously.
Yeah.
But yes, there is some pretty random requests as well.
And what's the most absurd you've had?
I think he's been like invited to weddings before and like asked to do like speeches and stuff. And I'm like, oh, look, he's a nice guy, but he's probably not that nice, to be honest with you.
Can Chris Hemsworth MC my wedding? No. Yeah, sure, man.
Well, look,
sure.
he's obviously a very busy man. That's why you've designed these 7-minute workouts. Make sure you get your hands on it. Download Centre for the newest program, 28 Days of Arms. It's been an absolute pleasure to have you on the show, Luke Zocchi. We always appreciate your time. time, mate.
No worries, guys. Thanks for having me.
13 24 10. Give us a buzz if you have an obscure celebrity connection.
Yeah, we love doing this. 13 24 10 is the number. Maybe your mum's bestie from school used to live next door to Kate Blanchett's grandma.
Yep.
Something like that.
The reason we're doing obscure celebrity connection is because we just had Luke Zocchi on. Now, Luke Zocchi is Chris Hemsworth's personal trainer. Now, that wasn't the first time we had him on the show. We had him on the show about 5 years ago, but the way we got him on the show was so strange because we were walking down the street recording some audio for the radio show, and this elderly woman said, I know Chris Hemsworth, I know Chris Hemsworth. And we said, how do you know Chris Hemsworth? And she said that her grandson is Luke Zocchi, who is Chris Hemsworth's personal trainer.
Yeah. And honestly, we thought she was insane. We thought she'd lost her marbles. But no, she was legit, and that's our connection to Chris Hemsworth. We once saw Luke Hemsworth's PT's grandma at a bus stop.
Yeah, so if you have got an obscure celebrity connection, 13 24 10.
Jacinta in Sydney, what's your obscure celebrity connection?
Hey guys, so my uncle's neighbour is the flaming galah himself, Ray Ma.
Whoa.
Stewart from Home and Away.
That's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Australiana. Yeah, well, I like that. I mean, the more obscure they are, like, everyone should have one. Like, everyone's, like there's a bit of a stretch. My one is that my dad's cousin is married to the cousin of former LA Lakers superstar Kobe Bryant, which is a very good one.
Yeah, have a listen. This is some previous ones we've had in the past.
I used to work with Josh Giddey's dad at Melbourne United.
My cousin's wife's niece is Bianca Sensori.
So my dad said Tyler, and he tiled Ricky Lee's bathroom.
Nova's very own.
What's yours? Is your barber's second cousin Ron Perlman, who played Hellboy? 13 24 10. What is your obscure celebrity connection?
We got a great prize to give away for this one as well for our favourite caller. 13 24 10 is our number. Daniel in Melbourne, what's yours?
So my obscure celebrity connection, I wouldn't more say it's celebrity, more like a historical figure. So we had a dinner one time with my grandfather a couple of years back, and he says that we were related to President Andrew Jackson from America, which I think he was like I can't remember, it was like the fourth or fifth president at that time. And so he would have been like my 15th or 16th great uncle. So... yeah, from what my grandfather was saying.
And that's the thing, Daniel. Of all the American presidents, Andrew Jackson was one of them.
Absolutely.
I think that's the first time I've heard that name, to be honest with you. It's definitely, it's not a big hitter. It's not an Abe Lincoln.
No, and Jackson is a very common name. It's also my last name, so maybe I'm also related to Andrew Jackson.
That's the beauty, though, of obscure celebrity connections. It doesn't have to be a big star. Rhiannon joins us now in Sydney. What's yours?
So my grandparents used to babysit Peter Garrett.
Whoa! That's a good one. The funny thing about Peter Garrett as a baby is he would have the same haircut.
All right, you can see why we love doing this. 13 24 10. It's your time to brag. What is your obscure celebrity connection?
To be fair, his dance moves didn't change much from being a toddler either, did they? Lee in Melbourne, what's yours?
Hey, my neighbour is in the same classic car club as Kylie Minogue's dad.
That's awesome, man. That's cool. You can hang your hat on that. You know what I mean?
Outstanding. Lucy in Melbourne, what is your obscure celebrity connection?
My grandmother, who reads tarot cards, read tarot cards for the mother of former AFL CEO Gillan McLaughlin.
Crazy. Can Gil get your grand final tickets if need be?
Not anymore.
Not anymore.
That is peak, Lucy. Thank you so much. Joyce in Sydney, obscure celebrity connection.
Hey, well, mine's about my dad. He was travelling overseas quite a while ago, and he's on a plane with his mate. And they had just been to a concert, a Mariah Carey concert, and had mentioned how fat she had got. And then all of a sudden the voice comes from a few seats up saying you should be careful who you talk about in public, and it was actually Mariah Carey.
Whoa!
Yeah, pretty slack, but...
Whoa!
So your obscure connection is that your dad was on a plane with fat Mariah Carey.
Yes.
Whoa!
He was being a bit rude.
Wow. Yeah, but I mean, you wouldn't think that she was sitting anywhere near you.
Yeah. Then she
No,
turns
not at all.
around
Yeah.
with sorry
So he
Mariah
went-
Carey.
Sorry. Have a Merry Christmas.
I didn't mean it.
Joyce, thank you so much for getting involved. 13 24 10 is our number. If you have got an obscure celebrity connection, we want to hear about it on this show.
Diane in Melbourne, what's your obscure celebrity connection?
It's me personally. I went to school with Matthew McConaughey.
What? That's not obscure. You just straight up know him.
Why? What, in like primary school?
No, he was an exchange student at my high school in 1988.
Wait, I mean, what school did you go to?
Gorican High School, New South Wales Central Coast.
I don't know if does anybody know about that he went to school here in Australia? I didn't know that.
He's written all about it in his last book.
Oh.
All right.
Did you ever interact with him? Was he a nice guy in school?
Yeah. Oh, it was lovely. Always wore the cowboy hat and the
What the hell?
snakeskin boots.
Oh,
and
dude.
chewing tobacco all the time. Yeah.
That's good. He was chewing tobacco. What was he, like 8? I mean, I think the fact that it's in his book, I mean, you can't argue with that. I mean, we believe you, Diane. That's crazy.
Obscure celebrity connections, 13 24 10. Mark in Sydney, what's yours?
My fifth cousin is Ash Barty.
Oh, yeah. So that must have been huge for you.
Hang on, fifth cousin.
Yeah, fifth
So huge.
cousin.
Never
yeah.
met her.
Oh, no, Mark. But I mean, when she won the Oz Open, I'm sure she was thinking about you and all the other fifth cousins. Like that, that is cool. Abby in Melbourne, we're doing obscure celebrity connections. What's yours?
So mine's actually George Michael. May he rest in peace.
Oh,
Okay. How are you connected to George Michael?
So when he was doing a show in Melbourne, my mum's cousin and him actually hooked up.
Whoa!
And out of interest, was your mum's cousin a woman or a man?
A male.
Yeah.
My mum likes to say George Michael's our cousin through grandmothering.
Yeah, well, that's it. Yeah, because I mean, obviously George was famously gay, but I think there was a stage there where he maybe wasn't out, or I don't know.
Yeah. Abby, thank you so much. 13 24 10. We are talking obscure celebrity connections. Sarah in Melbourne, what's yours?
Hey, I'm actually originally from South Africa and used to go to primary school with Nelson Mandela's grandkids.
Wow.
That's big. That's big.
These have been outstanding.
These are unreal. Jordan, what about you, mate?
Jordan, what's
Hello?
your obscure celebrity connection?
How you going? My uncle is related to the one and only Warwick Cappuccino Kappa.
Up there in airspace, mark of the century.
So related how?
It's his first cousin.
Oh, wow. Do they catch up
And
much?
he said, not as much as they used to, but he reckons he's exactly the same now as he was when they were bloody kids.
Yeah, no, we've had him on the show before, though. He's a real wild card. Eva in Sydney, what's yours?
So, do you guys remember Dolly Parton, Islands in the Stream?
Yeah.
What?
Remember her funky costumes?
No,
not as well. Not as well.
All right. There was one particular Playboy bunny costume that Dolly was dressed up as.
Mm-hmm.
Well, my grandma's sister, when we were in America, she used to make a lot of Dolly's costumes.
Wow.
There you go. So your grandma's sister made Dolly Parton's costumes. That's an obscure
That's right.
celebrity connection right there.
And that is why we love doing it on Late Drive with Ben Lehman Bell. 13 24 10. If you have got an obscure celebrity connection. Earlier in the show, we were talking about brutal breakups. And we've got one more caller we want to go to tonight. Andrea is their name in Melbourne. Tell us about your brutal breakup.
So, hi guys. My brutal breakup was a month ago, 2 days after I had lost my beloved rabbit of 9 years of owning her, but also
grieving my grandmother that passed in April.
Oh, my gosh.
So you lost the grandmother and the rabbit.
Yep.
Oh, man. I mean, that's like the worst possible time. What was their reasoning, Andrea?
Just, I wasn't mentally there for them.
Yeah,
right.
The tough thing is, though, and I'm not starting with that person, but the tough thing is, like, maybe they were thinking about breaking up, and then the grandma passed away, and they thought, this isn't the right time.
Just give it a bit of space.
Gave it a bit of space. That was in April, you said, so they gave it a few months, and then the rabbit passed away, and they thought, well, there's just never going to be a right time.
Yeah, but then, you got to wait a bit. But they say bad things come in threes. So hopefully that's it, Andrea. That's done.
All right, yeah. That was only 2 by my
Yeah,
count. And I was like, oh, well, way to go, pal. Yeah, Andrea's calling through. You're going to make it feel worse. But yes, the breakup, the rabbit.
What?
Yeah, mate. No, Andrea, you're in the clear. You're good. You're good.
I thought the same thing as Liam.
For more great comedy shows like this, head to novapodcasts.com.au.